Feels great with the Detroit Lions being off and having that bye week for the first time in franchise history as we sit back and we watch the rest of the NFL play out. As a matter of fact, at the recording of this video, Denver is up on Buffalo 7-0 with 11:17 to go in the first quarter. So that could be a upset brewing right there. But this video is about something that happened on Saturday of Wild Card Weekend. The Steelers dropping 4 in a row, heading into Baltimore, and got their rear ends handed to them, having an abysmal first half, and it was just atrocious. 4-game losing streak heading into the NFL playoffs. They joined, I think it was the Detroit Lions of 1999, I believe. One of the teams to lose 4 straight, you go into the playoffs, and that is an automatic L when it comes to one and done in the NFL playoffs. And there's been a lot of talk about the Steelers moving on from Mike Tomlin. Yes, after no losing seasons, sometimes you need a change of scenery. They have not won a playoff game in 6 years. And for the Pittsburgh Steelers with 6 Super Bowl trophies, that is not the standard. You have the standard, that is the standard, and that is not the standard. So I got on with some Pittsburgh guys last night, and they're going crazy. The Pittsburgh fan base is going insane. They want a changing of the guard. They think Mike Tomlin has grown stale. But another thing that I heard is that they want TJ Watt to go off and get a Super Bowl trophy. They don't think that it's going to be done in Pittsburgh. So that got me to thinking, well, you know what I'm about to say, bro. I will refuse to be bullied by the internet and get off the pass rushing train that I've been on for literal years. We need to do something about it. Now, TJ Watt, I did not know this. TJ Watt, we talked about Myles Garrett. He's under contract for another 2 seasons. We talked about Max Crosby, the hometown favorite. We talked about him. He's under contract for another 2 years. But guess who is on the last year of his deal? Now, you're thinking about contract extension. I know what y'all are going to say. We're not going to be paying 2 $30 million pass rushers. That's probably true. But I don't think TJ Watt, he's already 30 years old. He, along with Myles Garrett and Max Crosby, are kind of on that not tail end, but I think that they have peaked already and they are on the downward spiral. Spiral seems a little mean. You know what I'm trying to say, that they're not up and coming like an Aiden Hutchinson, but down. Now you're talking about, we've been talking about another guy with JJ Watt coming out of retirement, blah, blah, blah. That's not going to happen. But I tell you what, if the Steelers really want to become the organization they used to be, they might have to move on from Mike Tomlin. In doing so, they might start trying to leverage some of their pieces because they are going to need a quarterback. They do not have a quarterback for 2025. So this is not out of the realm of possibility for them to potentially move on from TJ Watt. They also got the Cam Hayward situation. What is he going to do? The Pittsburgh Steelers are in trouble for the foreseeable future. They will not be a winning organization in the next couple of years. And I don't think Mike Tomlin is going to be the guy. I love Mike Tomlin, but I don't think he's going to be the guy. So check this out. This is why that I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could very well move on from TJ Watt, because he is entering the last year of his contract. Okay, let's take a look at his contract information before we go and look at his stats. TJ Watt signed a 4-year, $112 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which included $35 million in signing bonus. In 2025, Watt will earn a base salary of $21 while carrying a cap hit of $30 and the dead cap of $9. He is only under contract for 1 more season. It's a hefty contract. There's no doubt about it. But you are not going to get a pass rusher the quality of TJ, Max, and Myles. If you look at their contracts, they are all very similar, all in the 18 to 22, every last one of them. You're not going to get a pass rusher of his caliber, of their caliber, for less than this. All right? So that's that. That's why this is the last year of his deal. And if he doesn't sign, maybe he doesn't want to sign an extension. I'm sure these guys want to be there. But it might be very similar to how the Las Vegas Raiders are going to have to make a decision on Max Crosby. And Max Crosby is going to want to talk to that organization. Maybe TJ Watt wants to do the same thing. Now let's look at his stats. Kind of a down year for him. He wasn't very effective in the playoff loss. He had 40 solo tackles. He had 11.5 sacks. He had 6 forced fumbles. This is the highest I think I've seen for a defensive lineman. Well, he's actually down as a linebacker in some cases, depending on where you look. I think he's paid as a linebacker, but he plays mostly defensive end. If we look at his stats over the last couple of years, spent his entire career with Pittsburgh. Don't forget, signed a rookie deal. He was a first-round pick. So he signs the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's on his second contract, and he's entering the last year of that second contract. His worst year was 3 years ago at 5.5. I think he was hurt that year. Yeah, because he only played 10 games. In 17 games, he had 19 sacks. In 17 games, he had 19 sacks. Now, I think personally Hutch would have done better than that this year. I think Hutch could have done right here. I think Hutch would have been at least this by the time the regular season was over. So I know what you guys are going to say, and that's cool. I'm in the habit of making videos. Sometimes they're fantasy, sometimes they're not. But this is what I would like to see. Now, here's a possibility, okay? I don't think the pass rusher market is going to be that big for the next, at least coming into the 2025 offseason. It's not going to be that big. Most of the pass rushers were locked up. Like the quality ones, they were locked up last offseason for 2024. Now, of course, we got the draft and such. But would you tell me right now, you would not give up a first-round pick that the Lions are going to have? At least I talked to the Steelers guys yesterday. I said, hey, what would you want? Let's say, hypothetically, that you guys moved on from TJ Watt. Here's what they said. At least they would want. They would want 2025's first and third. I don't remember if we have a third. And next year's second. Next year's second for TJ Watt. Tell me right now you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. We're going to pick a late first-round pick if Brad Holmes stays where he's at. If he doesn't, we're going to have to use trade capital to come up. And we could get a pass rusher then. But most of the free agent pass rushers are locked up. And there's only a few guys that we could get. Khalil Mack might become available. He might be a salary cap casualty. I think they restructured did some things. I could see Joey Bosa maybe call it quits. Mack, one of those guys who was balling out in the Chargers playoff game. So both of them were, as a matter of fact. But could you see TJ Watt being a Detroit Lion? Absolutely. We're getting to the point where he's entering that Stafford realm. Now, Stafford did 12 years in Detroit. TJ Watt has been in Pittsburgh he just finished year 8. Year 8. So he's coming up on that Stafford kind of realm of all of these. Did you know? Check this out. Did you know that TJ Watt has not won a playoff game in Pittsburgh? I had no clue that he's been in the league, just completed his 8th season, and he has not won a playoff game. I did not know that until the Pittsburgh Steelers fans told me. TJ Watt does not have, he has everything else. He has 108 career sacks. He has how many fumbles? 12? No, he has 33 forced fumbles. 33. And he has all of that and no playoff win. That is ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people are going to want to come to Detroit. So I will say this, and this is where I understand about the salary cap. We went over the salary cap and all that stuff. And yes, we're probably not going to have 2 massive mega pass rushers on our team as far as finances. And we know right now that Hutch is going to get the bag. He's going to get the bag. And we're not going to trade a first-round pick for a 1-year loaner. So we would have to work something out. This is probably more fantasy than anything else, but it's one I'm going to talk about. You can call me Free Guy because I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it and the possibilities, right? We did trade away Matthew Stafford. So I'm not, but what Brad has not done is trade for somebody significant. Zadarius Smith, all love, no offense to him. He's exactly what this team needs. But could you imagine a TJ Watt on the Detroit Lions opposite Hutch? Could you imagine that? Now, Hutch is he's priority number 1. He has the biggest upside. He has a future. He's the younger guy. So there's no doubt of who you need to prioritize. But if we could get a TJ Watt in here for a couple years, I mean, because like I said, and I'm not going to say hometown discount is not a thing. I'm going to tell you why. This is something, and this is why I stay in touch with other fan bases. And I kind of watch, even though like the Lions, we didn't play the Steelers this year. And I might watch a fan base when the Lions plays them. But then I'll keep in touch with the fan base because I want to know what's going on. I keep my ear to the ground. I want to know what's going on. And a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they want to see TJ shine. So why did I bring that up with the hometown discount? Because they brought up something that they think needs to change. And I never thought that I would hear this when it came to a Detroit Lions head coach, especially one like Dan Campbell, who was getting mocked at the beginning of his tenure with his press conference. They are talking about the word culture. The word culture in Detroit Lions pops up. And sometimes things are bigger than money. Culture is bigger than money. Winning is bigger than money. Winning is bigger than money. So what I'm saying is TJ Watt already got the bag. He's already got the bag on his second contract. I don't think his third contract is going to be as big as his second, but it could be. Maybe he takes a hometown discount. When I say hometown discount, a culture discount. He wants to win. He wants to win. Look at Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell never won a Super Bowl. 17 just completed his 17th year. TJ Watt still has 9 years before he reaches that status. Could you imagine playing Calais Campbell, how he feel right now? And the fact that the Dolphins kind of dangled the carrot out there and literally had no chance in the playoffs, even if they would have made it. They would have been the Steelers 2.0. They would have been heading out today. Could you imagine, right? So I'm not going to put it past. Will it happen? Probably not. Do I want it to happen? But here's what I was going to say. Let's say Brad Holmes doesn't make a move. He doesn't make a move for somebody for Myles Garrett or Max Crosby this offseason. We draft somebody in the first, second, third rounds or whatever draft picks we have, and we run with what we have. Let's say we do that. And then in 2026, when TJ Watt is one of probably the top coveted free agent, can Brad get him to come to Detroit then? We might have a Super Bowl by then. And you think people don't want to come now, or people want to come now with the culture? Imagine the culture and some hardware. I'm just saying, listen, let a brother dream, bro, because I'm going to keep dreaming until we get that dog defensive line. When you watch, I'll say this. We'll wrap the video up. When you watch other teams, you know one thing I appreciate about the Lions, and when you watch other teams, it's their offense and their offensive line. You're like, wow, the Lions watching the playoff games on Saturday was like, bruh, where it makes you long for the Lions and appreciate when you can score almost 34 points a game. It really does. Watching Jared Goff get sacked as many times as or not that many times, makes you appreciate this offensive line. I'm telling you what, the Lions have an opportunity here. When you start playing for things, when you start seeing, hey, you know what? This team is real. We can get guys to come here. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Probably in the realm of fantasy. Probably play some Mariah Carey after this video. But I'm just saying, you never know, man. You never know. There might be somebody that takes a winning discount, because that's the thing. Anyway, listen, the logo is official. Yes, it might be a little off center. You guys in the comment section, love y'all. Love y'all. The guy that's designed it, I told him, I said, listen, man, my audience is catching things. And he was like, well, it is a fan-driven brand after all. You got to listen to the audience. So I thought that was pretty cool. But the logo is up. If you click on the avatar of Lions Syndicate, it's going to take some getting used to because we've been using the other one for like a year and a half. So it's up. I'm excited because it is official. We're going to have different logo variations and things like that. And I'm thinking I'm going to go more embroidered shirts than stick on. You know what I'm saying? Because when I do stuff, I want it to be quality, right? Not that you can have stick on quality, but I want to, we'll see because this is a stick on right here and it's quality in the last couple washes, right? So anyway, this time is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. And don't forget, turn down for what? Sorry, I couldn't help myself.